Dr. Trey Lotz say something for us.
It's such a pleasure to work with this group. They're so high-toned and things go so smoothly. It's a big win for me, believe me. There's a little piece of tech that I learned a long time ago that has been very helpful to me, and I just wanted to share it with you. And it's on the subject of opinions. And I was thinking about this recently because the air is thick with opinions these days because of the political season and the presidential election, and they're just everywhere. So how do you evaluate opinions? I mean, opinions are very inexpensive to manufacture. You can create dozens of them just in a breath. In fact, you could call a VIII an opinion machine. But opinions have different purposes, and they have different uses. And at some level, they're just ideas that people have about things. And you can share your opinions with somebody. You can say, "Well, this is my opinion. That's my opinion," and it's just an exchange of ideas. And that's sort of in a higher toned kind of an environment, or sort of a non-controversial environment. But then when you go a little lower on this scale, then you get into the antagonism band, or the anger band, the hostility band, and then opinions. They have different purposes. They become weapons, or they become shields. You think of them as a baseball bat or a shield. So somebody can have an opinion, or they could have a strong opinion. And that's the difference between having opinions and being opinionated. Is there's this effort to assert your opinions. Well, why do people assert their opinions? Well, they're doing one of two things. They're either defending themselves from somebody else's opinion. They're saying, you can't dominate me because I've got this shield here, which is a strong opinion, and I'm not going to accept your opinion. Or you can use your opinion as a club to dominate another person. There's an effort to dominate a person, so you have to push it in on them. And then, of course, sometimes when you push an opinion, they'll push back, and they'll say, well, that's your opinion. But for the most part, opinions really don't mean anything one way or the other. You can listen to TV all day, listen to opinions all day, and there isn't an opinion that you'll hear that makes one little bit of difference in your life one way or the other. Whether you accept it, reject it, believe it, don't believe it. Well, most people's opinions, if you're kind of rational, then your opinions are kind of like a work in progress, because you have this body of information, you come to a conclusion, and that's your opinion. But then you have a different experience or some new data, so you take this opinion and now you move it a little bit, or you shape it differently, or it's different than a fixed idea, because it's just sort of based on the reality that I have. This is what I think about things right at this moment, But then there's other areas of life where opinions are more important, like particularly when you go to somebody for advice, or you read a book, you're trying to learn how to build a relationship, or you're trying to learn how to be successful financially, or like in Scientology, you're trying to learn how to audit or how to supervise, or just anything you're trying to learn. Now, and this is where this piece of data from LRH comes in handy, and this is the tape Training and Duplication. I always thought it was a very interesting tape, because he says that when you're studying something, first you have to duplicate it, then you have to understand it, then you have to apply it and get some experience with it, and then you can have judgment about it. And I look back at when I was in college and I was studying philosophy, and this is very typical with students, especially when you're studying something that's not that easy to understand, like a lot of these philosophy texts, a lot of them are translated from the German, or this, who knows what they're really saying in their native language. I remember when I was looking at, question of, where do I invest money, what kind of stocks to buy. And I bought this report that gave the actual track record of these financial advisors. And because I've read a bunch of them and they all had different opinions. So anyway, I just thought that was helpful for me over here